Welcome back everybody to PoolieMagTV, the raw, unedited, unscripted NUFC fan channel where everyone's got an opinion and nobody's opinion's wrong. So, today we're going to jump straight into the video. It's all about Newcastle United news. It's a transfer roundup, easy for me to say. And just all the little bits and bobs of news that have sprung to our attention over the last few days. So I haven't done a video for a while, so I'll probably start where most people started last week. But yeah, Fabian Schär getting a contract extension. What's your thoughts on that? I know you'll have probably watched the other bigger channels and already commented on that, but if you're watching this, give us a comment. What do you think about Fabian Schär staying for another year? I like Fabian Schär. I think he's been one of our best signings of all time for £3 million. The amount of goals he's scored, he's a silky football player. And I think if he's used right, I think it's a good deal. But my worry is it stops us from buying somebody else. My worry is he's going to be flung in at the deep end and he's going to be a starter again next season. And I don't think he should be a starter. I think he should be there to help some of the young people come in or some of the new signings. And I think he should also be there as a cup guy, big games away from home, where you need that composure. But I wouldn't be playing him week in, week out. And I can see both sides of the coin on this one. I can see why people want to say goodbye to him and give him the send-off that he deserves and why other people would like to keep him. For me, I think it's shrewd. I think it's good if used right. I don't want him starting every week and I don't want him being our number one. I don't think he will be. I think that's chow and bottom, but you never know, do you? But I hope it doesn't stop us from going for another centre-back because we clearly need another centre-back. Dan Burn is ageing rapidly. And Schär's just coming off the back of an injury, which you don't know how that's left him. Has that left him half the player he was? At that age, it's hard to recover from such an injury. So we'll wait and see on Fabian Schär, won't we? Anyway, the new home kit and all. Well, this is last season's kit, and this is a rather nice kit. I had the season before's home top and all, which was rather nice. I don't think I'll be buying this year's kit. Like, the goalkeeper top looks really nice. But I don't think our new home shirt is anything to write home about. I think it looks like a barcode to me. And I know we get called the barcodes anyway, but this looks like a proper barcode with dead thin lines. And it just doesn't do it for me. If somebody bought me it for Christmas, I would happily wear it. But I don't think I'd be going out the way to buy it myself, put it that way. I just don't like the look of it. I haven't seen any of the away strips yet. Like I say, the goalkeeper top looks smart. I like the yellow, so I'd probably go for that more than I would the home top. I've never owned a goalkeeper top. I always want the one that Shaq and Islop wore. The orange one that had the tan bridge on. I thought that was an awesome goalkeeping top. But other than that, I've never really fancied any of the goalkeeper tops. But this year's looks all right. But the home top for me, not for me anyway. I don't think I'd be buying it. Like I say, if somebody wants to buy it for Christmas or as a gift or whatever, I wouldn't fling it back in their face. I'd thank them and I'd wear it happily. But I don't think I'd be spending the obscene amount of money that you need to buy a football top these days on something like that. But anyway, what's everybody's opinion on that? Does everybody like it? Does anybody like it? Is anybody rushing to the store when it's released? I don't think so. But you will get the odd one, stalwart, hardcore Newcastle fans who will wear every shirt going, have more money than sense sometimes and just buy everything that's released. But that's their prerogative and that's what they can do. That's up to them. For me, it's a no-go. Moving on to some of the transfer news. Well, we've signed a goalkeeper. Do you know, I was talking to my dad about him. And I don't think he'd be our number one goalkeeper. I really don't. But he looks well. He looks good. He's young. He's agile. He plays out with his feet. He's confident, which is what we need. Because Aaron Ramsdale's not that confident, and neither is Nick Pope. He looks a good shot stopper. He looks like he can come out for the ball. He looks like he can command his box well. So I wish him all the best. He looks like a really good goalkeeper. 18 million quid. Well, it might end up being a snip, that. And he might end up going on to great things for us. I just hope he's not loaned back out or he's not like on the bench all the time, or in the reserves. If he's going to be our number two, if he's not going to start, he needs to be on the bench. He needs to see the pace of the Premier League. He needs to get a feel for it. He needs to play in some cup games. because I don't want to see another young player come in touted as this special talent and demoted to the dreaded under-21s, what nobody ever seems to get out of, or let somebody like Shoulder Amiobi arrange a loan for him, or whoever arranges loans for him, because they're disastrous too. So if he's not going to be our number one, he needs to be our number two. We need to get rid of Nick Pope. Aaron Ramsdale's already gone. So bringing an established goalkeeper to work alongside this young lad, it would be my ideal. But whether we're going to spend 18 million on a goalkeeper and then 30 odd on an established goalkeeper, that's over maybe 50 million on two goalkeepers, whether we've got that type of money. But we never know, do we? We've sold Anthony Gordon. Harvey Barnes is getting talked about. So for 45 million to Villa, I think he'd fit well in at Villa. He's only started 7 Premier League games last season. Doesn't seem to fit what Eddie Howe wants, even though he was his most prolific goal scorer last season. And when he does start a run of games, he plays really well, but then just seems to get dropped all the time for no reason. So that's got to have knocked his confidence. Aston Villa have just won the Europa League. They're in the Champions League again. Unai Emery's a quality manager, and I think he'll do really, really well for Aston Villa. 45 million, I'd want 50. We paid 39 for him, and he's done well for us. And if a team in the Champions League want him, then I would be pushing for 50. But I'd be sad to see Harvey Barnes leave, if I'm totally honest. I like Harvey Barnes. I think he's a quality player. I loved him for Leicester. I really liked him in the times when he's actually had been an established star for us. But as soon as Anthony Gordon or anybody was fit, he just seemed to get dropped all the time. And I wouldn't blame him if he did go. Bruno seems to have been committed, stays committed, and that doesn't surprise me about Bruno. Whether we can keep him here through his prime years, I'm not too sure, but I don't see him going in the summer. I think if we have another poor season, he'll be gone. He wants to win trophies, you can tell he does. There's no matter how much he loves Newcastle United, if Newcastle United aren't pulling their weight and Newcastle United aren't finishing in the positions where he wants us to finish or aren't winning more trophies, he'll be gone, believe me. So I think we'll keep him for another season. Sandro Tonali touted 100 million for Sandro Tonali. I'd get shot of Sandro Tonali. I don't think he's as great as what people say he is. I think he played absolutely out of his skin, not last season, the season before, for, 3 quarters of that season. But his edge went down, hasn't it? He's playing, he wasn't shite last season, but he wasn't at the level he could be. I think if he goes to a Manchester United or back to Italy or whoever can afford him, PSG is sniffing around, I think. So I think 100 million for him. You can get 2 quality midfielders for 100 million to replace 1. So yeah, let him go. If he doesn't want to be here, let him go. I don't want to keep anybody. At the end of the day, players retire and players leave clubs. Nobody's here forever. Even if they played every single match for one team, they still have to retire at some point. So they're still going to have to go. It's a revolving door football. It always has and always will be. I don't really get upset when players leave. I got narked about the way Alexander Isak left. But if you leave the right way and you bring money into the club and we can replace you, refresh the squad, revitalise the team and galvanise the team with the money we bring in, then I'm all for Sandro Tonali leaving. I really am. And as apparently we're in for Munoz and all. I don't really know much about Munoz, but for the bits that I've seen of him, he looks a really good player. He can play on the left. But we obviously, if we sell Harvey Barnes, we've already sold Anthony Gordon. We are going to need another left winger. So it's going to be a busy transfer market for Newcastle United. It really is, and I'm here for it. I think we need a busy window. I'm sick of shit deals and dragging things out and this and that. And hopefully with the pre-season, our players from last season can come good, and the players who like Voldemar starts next season and Jacob Ramsey starts next season. You know, less of the Joe Linton and more of the Jacob Ramsey. Less of the press and more built the team around Voldemar, and I think we could have a good season next season. It all depends on how Eddie Howe plays and who we buy. But at the minute, it seems like we're percolating in the transfer market, which is nice. We've got an early out and we've got an early in. That's what we need. That's what we need, especially with the World Cup looming. Because with the World Cup looming, you know, a lot of them players are going to be at the World Cup and then they're going to be having a week or 2 holiday and then coming back. And we don't want to be sat in August with just this goalkeeper and somebody else. We need to have about 4 or 5 players in by then and get rid of the deadwood, get rid of the players that don't want to be here and replace them properly. Let's have a proper transfer window for the first time in a long time. Let's get things done quickly, out the way of the media. Boom, signed. There you go, or gone. And more money in the coffers for Newcastle United to grow. I think it can be an exciting time for Newcastle, but I'll watch. I'll watch with bated breath because I don't want to jinx it, and I don't want to repeat, and I certainly don't want to repeat the last season. So I'm excited, but nervously excited, quietly excited about the season ahead. Anyway, thank you for your time, and as I always say, keep it black and white and keep it PoolieMagTV. Over and out, folks.